We want to tell you tonight about a group of local foundations that are sounding the alarm about the constant affordable housing crisis in our area. But these corporations are putting their money where their mouth is, leading to the charge on a new multi-million-dollar effort that's called the Home State Initiative. Kent's here to explain who's behind it and why it's coming at this pivotal time.
At a time when safe, stable, affordable housing feels unattainable for many, 3 local foundations packed Ecolab's St. Paul offices to give housing advocates a 5-year, $23 million boost and counting.
We can say to the nonprofit partners who are on the ground, you can be creative, you can be innovative, and you can be flexible with these dollars.
Alfonso Wenker says the St. Paul and Minnesota Foundation, along with the F.R. Bigelow and Mardog Foundations, hope today's $3 million contribution from Ecolab is just the start of a trend toward private support for housing, at a time when surveys show 6 in 10 people in the East Metro report worrying about paying rent.
These are working people who are contributing to the economy who may have some sort of event come up. So we want to make sure that those eviction prevention programs are really strong.
Alfonso says at least a third of the money will support programs in rural Minnesota, and other dollars will go towards supporting local shelters at a time when they face serious questions about federal funding.
I think the answer right now is that we're not entirely sure what we're going to do next.
Elizabeth Leiden with Catholic Charities Twin Cities says Minnesota received about $48 million in federal funding last year to address homelessness and housing statewide, with 82% going towards supportive housing units like they have here in St. Paul. But they're now among several agencies writing to Congress about changes to that program that potentially displaces more than 3,600 people.
We are not going to be able to backfill those federal dollars with today's commitment, but I think that's the first step of many in getting our community rallied around this topic. We know what works for people, and so we're going to continue to provide services for those most in need in our community. We're going to see if we can grow this coalition and generate more support for this work in the context of a very challenging government environment.
We can give people something to hook into. There's so much chaos, there's so much uncertainty, and we can be really crystal clear that housing stability makes Minnesota stronger, and when we work together, we can move some things forward.
Now, right now, the plan is for the Our Home State money to be available through a grant program, which will be open sometime, I'm told, later next year. And they're hoping today's contribution from Ecolab is just the beginning of more donations to come, especially considering the uncertainty ahead, Jana.
Yeah, it feels like, with everything that has just happened through the shutdown, with SNAP being cut off, with this housing crisis, that it's kind of on us to help our neighbors, meaning companies in Minnesota, organizations, all banding together to lift it up.
Yeah, and that's right, Jana. And really at this time, as we mentioned, Catholic Charities and other organizations are seeing more red tape, more new rules and other obstacles for this federal funding. As they await that coming in, they really need that support from outside to try to stem the tide until they figure out what's next.
Right, especially we know it's getting colder here. This help is needed right now. Kent, we appreciate it. We'll be right back.